This is Robbie here from AFTV, and I've got a message to all Arsenal fans. If you're going to win titles, sometimes you've got to come to places like this and win. All you fans, wherever you are, we can beat Manchester City and we can still win this title. Believe.
All I'm going to say, Robbie, is there's blood in the water and there's a big blue shark behind you.
How easy?
Oh! No.
How easy? My man took off his hairband and banged it in.
At this moment in time, they're a level above us.
Is it done for you?
Oh, yeah, look, this is done now.
I use the word choked. A lot of people are using the word bottled. Use whatever word you want, because that's what we've done.
This week's Sunday, it's the big one again.
We fumbled the bag going into the games against Man City. This year, it's very different.
We come back here to Manchester City, the Etihad, to take them on.
And it looks like we're primed to finally come here and do something.
I'm calling on all Arsenal fans, wherever you are around the world. It's time to believe again. Africa, believe.
No, Rob, stop. Not again. Forget all the belief things. Sunday, Etihad, City, Arsenal, title decider. Leave it at that.
All right,
let's go.
Everyone, welcome back to the Predict 11 show. Hope you've all checked out the preview, because if you did, you'll know we ended the show by talking about two players. If we go back 12 months ago, they had to play this game. Two players actually very used to playing at this very stadium. And actually we're going to do our Predict 11s. And I'm going to venture a guess that these two players don't get into either of our, or any of our starting 11s come the game. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I'm intrigued as well. Did you see Robbie walking around the stadium as well? Because please tell me stopped him. Because
I think Turkish jumped in the way, so we were able to
stop them.
You're going to want to check this out, people, in the preview. But anyway, stick with us.
Thank God for that.
If you haven't seen the preview yet. But look, the players I'm talking about are Gabriel Jesus and Alexander Zinchenko. Two players that I rate massively. I think they're really, really good players. They've got a massive part to play in this team. But here we are, about to play Man City, their former club. And these were two players that were seen as the transformative players when they came to Arsenal. We went from 5th to challenging for the title.
Correct, yep.
We started playing brilliant football. The link up from the inverted left back to the false nine dropping in. It felt like we couldn't play our football without those two. It felt like we couldn't go into this game like we did last season without those two in the team. And now I think we're going to give 11s. And I don't know about you two, neither of them start for me. So just before we announce our 11s, do they get into either of your sides?
You know, that is a very, very good point. That is a very
come
good
a long
point.
way.
Yeah.
And I'm inclined to agree with you. I do believe that they will feature, both of them at some point, but starting, possibly not. But hey.
It's funny, isn't it? Because you're right. They were transformative for us last season, but they were kind of the bench people for City whilst they were there. I mean, Zinchenko less so. I think a lot of fans here, City fans, were upset when they saw Zinchenko coming to us, but they weren't, distraught by it.
Jesus had his runs in the team.
Yeah.
Like, at end of his final season, he had a massive run in the Champions League, scored a lot of goals for them. But I know what you mean. They were never kind of dead certs to be in that team.
Exactly that. But they've done so much for us. And what I did find funny is I looked at the 11 that played against City at home, and we kind of spoke about it briefly off cameras. That front three that we had, Eddie, Jesus and Trossard.
And by the way, Jesus was brilliant against City in that game at home.
He was. But those three names,
yeah,
they are not starting in my. Definitely not starting in my 11 in this one, which to me is great. They beat City at home, so to come this far and towards the end of this, coming to back end of the season, to think they might not even figure in my 11 that I'm thinking about. I don't think even Arteta's one. I don't think they might not feature in that one as well.
The moral of the story is, things change so quickly in football.
Massively, absolutely.
Because I've just mentioned 12 months ago, but you are right to mention 6 months ago when we beat them at the Emirates. The front three of Jesus on the right, Eddie up top, Trossard on the left.
Crazy.
Again, I would say none of that three are likely to or expected to, or if fit, going to start in this game, if everyone else is fit, I should say. So let's do it. I've kind of skirted around the topic, but I just thought that was a really interesting angle. Two players that came from City to us, transformed. Do you remember all the conversation? Were they wrong to sell them to us? I think they were, because they're really, really good players. I think they've had a massive part to play, and they could still have a massive part to play in this game. But let's break down our 11s, and we'll talk about some of the injury news.
Although I would add on that, the injuries have played a part in that, because Normally,
for
if
sure.
Jesus especially, if he's fit, you would expect him to start.
Yeah.
However, he hasn't been fit. That void has been filled by Havertz, and he's in a rich vein of form.
Yeah.
So it's
And
almost
Zinni
impossible
too.
to drop
Zinni
him.
too. I mean, if
Yeah.
Zinni had kept fit after the Liverpool game, where I thought he played well, we beat Liverpool 3-1. We're on a 3-game winning run post Dubai. You know, Kivior would he have had that opportunity, but I think Kivior's been brilliant. So let's go through it. David Raya keeps his place in goal. I think I saw a stat that across Europe's top 5 leagues or something, he's got by some considerable distance the best cross-claiming rate of any goalkeeper. He is really dominant in that area of the pitch. And you know what? When you've got someone like Haaland who, you know, they're going to want to get the ball into the box early to him because he makes those runs. He's that kind of poacher. Sometimes you need your goalkeeper to be on their toes. So we all agree, nothing fancy
It's
there.
interesting.
Raya keeps his place.
I say debate. There doesn't seem to be a debate anymore.
No, not anymore.
Whereas earlier on in the season there was much debate. Now it's taken as read that Raya's going to start.
But Ramsdale is a good goalkeeper. I do want to make that clear. So
I'm
there's no debate now. I'm with that. I'm with you on that. Between who's number one. But
there was no need for you to add that caveat.
Of course there is.
No, there was
it sounds
no
like
need to add that.
you know.
No, it's not a slight on Ramsdale. I'm just saying that the way things have
he seems scary.
manifested, the way things have manifested is that I'm not hearing Arsenal fans talk about, with the exception of maybe Lee Judges, that Ramsdale should start anymore. It's just Raya.
Not
So
fair.
you're saying Ramsdale's a donkey?
No, I'm not.
Is it true? Yeah,
No,
go on.
I agree. I agree with everything you guys are saying.
Yeah.
Raya keeps his place. We're going to the back four.
Right.
Ben White
Standard. Yep, don't need to say too much.
hasn't had to play international football, so he's fit,
ready
to go.
He'll be up for it.
I imagine you'd probably get a lot of stick from the fans, from the City fans, wouldn't you?
I don't think anyone's going to care.
Nah, I think
I think the media cared about this a lot more.
You don't
than,
think you'll hear chants of "you let your country down"?
no
and all
way.
that?
If they, I'll be shocked to hear that. That's so overdone.
Walker
if they do
limped
that.
off. he jogged towards goal, went for Gareth. I'm gonna, you know.
No, the reason why I say that is because I've been seeing on Twitter, he has been getting a lot of stick on Twitter.
Yeah, but
Twitter,
Twitter,
Twitter's
social
a
media,
cauldron for all that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Listen,
But
I
he
don't know.
definitely starts for me anyway.
And do you know what? If there's one player I have faith in not giving it's Ben White. He will not care. He'll be like, all right, cool.
Doku though, to come up against it, it'd be a good battle. Good battle.
Difficult
him or-
battle.
Yeah.
I think Ben White, as brilliant as he's been, hasn't always been great in the one-on-one duels. He's had moments, but I've also seen him at times struggle. I think that'd be interesting. It kind of depends what Ben White you get on the day, but he's been in his best form in 2024. Saliba, Gabriel, nothing fancy there, of course, but we've got to hope that Gabriel's fit because he did pull out of the Brazil squad.
He did.
Rumours, reports, I can't remember what it is, but I was seeing something about it being
Precautionary.
inflamed tendon. Is that right?
Yeah,
Don't quote me on that, everyone. I think that's the issue. Left back.
Left back has to be Kivior.
Yeah.
And do you know what? We spoke again off camera. I'm just trying to think that Arteta might go with something different. I know this is not different because we've seen Kivior recently since back from Dubai. He's been that main left back, but I feel like there's been some twists in this 11 from Mikel Arteta. But I think Kivior's he's not an unknown quantity, but he's difficult to. He's not Zinchenko. City will know Zinchenko. They'll know all about how he likes to get on the ball and invert. I think Kivior's a bit less
We're learning
predictable.
A lot about
Yeah, as the more games we see, the more we learn about Kivior.
Would it be
Defensively great.
remiss of me to say that with Zinchenko, Kivior, I get this is okay. So this is how I would break it down. If Arsenal are expected to get more of the ball, then straight away I'm going to say Zinchenko should be the man. Yeah. But if we're going to see likely less of the ball, as it will probably be the case on Sunday, then we're going to have to do more defending. And I think Kivior, to me, is more your man in terms of defending than Zinchenko is. Would you agree with that?
I know this might be a really cowardly thing to say, but I think safety first. I think you go with your defensive setup, your team and your back four that's been doing it. They've got a good relationship there. Raya's finding his best form. You stick with it. And then you know what? If we are having more of the ball, we need to impact it in a different way. Zinni has come off the bench for Man City and made big differences in title races. Hopefully he could do the same for us. I would just stick with Kivior. I know we disagreed on this. Actually, I don't think we spoke about it. I thought he was brilliant against Porto, Kivior. I thought he was utterly immense. And I know a lot of people thought, really?
Utterly
immense. I genuinely did. I thought his ability, the way he cleaned
did
up.
have a good game.
I thought Gabriel and Saliba looked a little shook at times. I thought Kivior really stood up to the task more than any other defender on that pitch, for me, from an Arsenal perspective. And I think he's growing more and more into it, and he deserves his opportunity in this game for me.
I think his physicality helps in that regard.
Second half against Liverpool, he was great as well. So I'll stick with Kiwior.
Who are you more likely to see come off the bench in that position, Zinchenko or Tomiyasu? Because how good Tomiyasu was for us against them
game
at home.
state. It's all game state. If Tomiyasu's fit, we need to hold on. You bring on Tommy. But
Right.
we'll see. I mean, but that you talk about surprises. Tomiyasu came in out of nowhere in the game at the Emirates when we lost 3-1. He made the mistake. But he actually didn't play that badly that game. So could you see Tomiyasu as a bit of a trump card?
I
is
do
a big
agree
game.
with that.
I think he is.
Although I think if it's if we need a goal or we need some inventiveness on that side of the pitch, and I think he's more likely to opt for Zinchenko.
Okay, well let's see. Tomiyasu, yeah, that's an interesting one. Okay, let's go into midfield then, because the obvious ones, Rice and Ødegaard, they're going to be there. So the player we've got to talk about is Jorginho, and whether Havertz is going to drop in and join Rice and Ødegaard for a little bit of height and presence, and we know he works hard off the ball. Do you go for Jorginho because of his experience, his ability to keep the ball, and he's been massive for us in big games? He has been a part of an 11 that beat City, part of an 11 that beat Liverpool, part of an 11 that won away at St James's Park. Or do you go for Thomas Partey, who stayed behind and when at his best, for me, on the ball
this
is
is tough.
the best six we've got at the club.
This is go, Laurie, because I'm struggling.
Thank you.
Sorry, this is where it gets confusing. Is the midfield?
Well, we were talking in the car, weren't we?
Yep.
And I was saying that I'd seen an interview with Zinchenko recently, and he referenced that Thomas Partey is the best holding midfielder he'd ever played with. And I said that's some statement when you consider some of the players that Zinchenko would have played with in the past. So that's heavy praise, and it does lead me to think that if Partey was fully fit, then I would opt for him. However, you've got to go with form, and
I stick with
Jorginho is the man in possession. That phrase I always use. What is it? Possession
is 9/10 of the law.
9/10 of the law.
Do you know why I stick with Jorginho, right? Partey, we know his ceiling is right up there.
Yeah.
But his floor's there sometimes.
It can be really
He has
bad.
moments where you're like, Thomas Partey, what are you doing? Jorginho, for me, we know he can be overrun in midfield, but I feel like he's got something about him where he knows his weaknesses. And I feel like very few times in a game will he really let himself get exposed in that kind of way.
He's too intelligent to see his flaws.
Certainly in Arsenal shirt, he seemed that way.
Yeah.
And I would stick with it. You've got the legs of Declan Rice next to him. And I think we're going to want his composure on the pitch. I think we're going to want someone who is like, I've beaten these guys in the Champions League final before. We've got this. Rather than let's get our best flair on the pitch. Partey is brilliant on the ball and he's got more athleticism for sure. And he's a better player than Jorginho. I'm not going to do complete revisionism. I just think on this one, I'm with you. Jorginho's been great. Keep his place.
And let's also say that Partey, a couple of weeks ago when he played, he came on. He looked a bit all over the place, and you could see clearly. You've got to factor all that into the equation. And this is a beyond massive game, if I could use that phrase.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be too risky to put.
He could be a great closer. Yeah. We ended the game at the Emirates with love it. We've got fans chanting for Arsenal here outside the Etihad. Thomas Partey came on against City to close the game out, get some legs back in the midfield, see it out. Jorginho was on a yellow, and then he plays the ball up to Tomiyasu, the header to Havertz, puts it down on a plate for Martinelli. So he could be someone who has a big impact either way, Thomas Partey. So okay, I'm going Jorginho, you're going Jorginho.
Yeah, you lot have swayed me. I was trying to think about it. I know he played in the in-house game, him and Tomiyasu. I know they didn't get too long, but they had a bit more time with the team.
4-0 defeat to, who was it? QPR.
QPR, yeah. But I know they had minutes with the team and being bedded and bedding into the team. So it's nice to know, they're ready just in case anything goes wrong. I think you do start with Jorginho because of form. Declan Rice would definitely be in the 8 role. We heard him speak in a press conference. I don't know if anyone watched it with England, and he spoke about how Mikel Arteta is literally retraining him, coaching him. He said he's so different what Mikel Arteta asks for between the 6 and 8. Completely different roles at this Arsenal side.
Yeah.
And he really is learning. So he's guaranteed
something that I'm sure the West Ham fans will appreciate.
Oh, yeah, well,
Facilities in this club. I mean, I've never
The best club I've been at. Yeah,
never
but
seen
no.
anything like it.
But respect
coaching.
respect
Big up
to
Declan Rice.
No, big him up.
Bring it all to this game.
Definitely.
Declan Rice has transformed us. He's
100%.
He is. We underpaid for him, and he's been utterly immense for us. And I
Even
love
in that
him to
England
bits.
game the other night, he was just
Yeah.
the leadership.
Oh, congrats,
quality.
by the way, on the captain's
Yeah.
head. We did mention it live, but yeah, that was big for Declan
Massive,
Rice.
massive.
Let's talk about the front three then. Okay, so we need to assume that Saka and Martinelli are fit. I think Martinelli's more touch and go. Saka's expected to play through whatever minor problems he might have.
Am I a hater that I don't want Havertz to start, but he has to start? Is that
No.
Is that
you're
me
not a
having
hater.
a?
Why would that
I
make
don't
you a
know.
hater?
Like for some reason,
Well, what is your
in me-
option?
Well,
Jesus.
Jesus, but
No, look,
but
For
I
what
feel
I
like Havertz is the right answer, but I don't feel comfortable. I don't know why, because he's been in good form.
Can we just, before you go, can we just talk about the Martinelli first? Because
let's go one position at a time. Martinelli first.
I'm not so sure if he's going to start, you know.
No,
I'm
he's injured.
not really
so maybe,
picking
so
up-
it's looking likely he won't.
I'm not picking up a vibe that he's going to start. Or
I haven't
play.
seen anything apart from the last time I saw him again. I was
kinda gone
lucky enough to
quiet,
be in a
hasn't it?
box, and I saw him on crutches, and he was refusing to basically take photos with fans because how injured he was.
So what are we to make from this? The
I don't
fact
know.
that it's gone quiet, does that give you a sense of optimism that he's going to start? Or
I've got no idea.
yeah,
I'm
that's
literally-
how
I'm
I'm trying to
literally-
read it.
I have no
I
clue.
can't.
I just feel like, considering it, I think when he got the injury, he wasn't completely ruled out the Porto game, which makes me think, okay, well, you've added another 2.5 weeks onto that, so surely now he'll be available. So I'm being optimistic, but of course, you are right to say, and for everyone watching this video who just wants the information, it's not actually looking like he's necessarily going to, but we don't really know for sure. So we'll keep an eye on that. If there's any breaking news, of course, we will cover it.
I hope I'm wrong,
on
but it's just I've
AFTV.
not seen any or heard anything.
No, I hear it. Let's go back to what you were saying about the strike situation,
Go on.
because I actually hear you, right? I did a whole kind of, intro to this video about Jesus and Zinchenko,
Right.
and it wasn't to have a pop with these two players. I love them to bits. I think they're brilliant. With Jesus, I think you could easily argue that he should still start this game because he's a better dribbler than Havertz. He's a better, I think at his best, he's still a better hold-up player than Havertz. I think, he can run at players. He gets into good areas. The problem is his finishing. What Havertz has got, I think he's got really good movement. I think his kind of touch and ability to offer the 1-2s, whatever's good. I think he works really hard, but we know Jesus does too.
Yeah.
I think Havertz has a slightly. I keep using this. This must be the 15th time I've said it on AFT in the last 2-3 weeks. Apologies, everyone. But Havertz has this kind of like colder demeanour for me. That's a little bit more like, I've got instructions I need to carry out on the pitch. And we don't know that for sure. We don't know what Arteta says to him. We don't know what goes through Havertz's mind. But when I watch him and Kivior and certain other players that have come into this team, David Raya is another one. I kind of look at the players they've replaced and I go, these three look less emotional than the three that were playing in their places before. And I think you might need a little bit of that against City. You might need a little bit of a 6'4" presence who's just going to, back into Luis, not Luis Diaz, Ruben Diaz a little bit, make him a little bit uncomfortable, be there to give 1-2s, drag players out of position, and when he does get into the final third, just play the game like it's any other game.
But is that what you want then, up front over Jesus? I don't know.
Jesus hasn't proven his fitness. It was a good cameo against Porto. It was. I'll give him that. I thought he actually did well, made a difference. But I'd stick with Havertz because we've been clicking with him, and he won us the game against Brentford. This is all ifs, buts, and maybes, right? But I remember against West Ham, similar headed chances for Jesus. He made an absolute mess of them. Havertz didn't in a very pressurised situation to win the game. Now I'm sure you could roll a load of clips of Havertz missing big chances when we needed him not to, for Arsenal and for Chelsea, whoever, and Jesus having the big moment. Like, you can pick and choose, but I just think right now I'm going with Havertz. I never thought I'd say that.
No, you know what? If you'd have asked me this question earlier in the season, I probably would have laughed at you.
Yeah, I agree.
We've got to be honest. We've got to be fair. Havertz is the man in form. He's playing very well. I mean, I believe he scored on international duty as well.
Yeah. He played very well against
Germany.
France, I think.
Yeah, against France, yeah.
So,
yeah.
you kind of has to start.
That's it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to see Jesus play a part at some
Another
point
great
in the game.
impact player.
Yeah.
Partey, Zinchenko, Jesus, Trossard.
But if I'm being pressed, I've got the proverbial gun to my head. You got to reward the man in form. You have to.
Yeah. Do you know what? Like I said, I asked, am I being a hater? Is it an agenda? I don't know. For some reason, I just didn't. Not that I don't feel comfortable because Havertz has been in great form. We've mentioned that he scored an international break, and I'm gonna go with him. for what now. I am going to go with him to start, and then obviously Martinelli and Saka. However, I said at the top of this video that I think Arteta's going to go with a curveball. I've seen him make a lot of changes recently in games, and very attacking changes, and kept a lot of the attacking players on and replace them for, like, I don't know, maybe a Jorginho comes off and put another attacking player forward, or we take a left back off and bring an attacking player on. I, for some reason, feel like Arteta's going to go with Jesus on the left, Havertz up top. No, sorry, Jesus on the left, Havertz up top, and then Saka on the right. Don't know. I think there's a difference coming.
We've had a really good discussion around what we want to see, and every single player. We've gone into it in good depth. But you're right. The video is predicted 11, and actually, if I'm making a prediction, I think you're probably right. Martinelli not fit enough to start. Might make the bench. Jesus on the left.
That's what I feel.
Yeah, that might be.
I generally think that's what it is. I think it's something different that
City may not be the best of both worlds.
Exactly.
The situation.
Can't prepare for it. Also, Martinelli 100% not fit. Even if he is, he's a good unknown, obstacle to get over when he comes off the bench as well. So I just feel like that's. I think Arteta's going to go with something
if Martinelli
unique.
isn't playing, that's a big miss for Arsenal.
His
pace,
you're
his
right.
directness, it's very hard to replicate that.
Let's recap the 11 then. So we think it's going to be obviously Raya in goal. White, Saliba, Gabriel, Kivior keep their places. The back four has been doing so well. Jorginho probably keeps his place with Odegaard, Rice. And then interestingly, the three of us feel that it might just be a game too soon for Gabriel Martinelli. So the question is it going to be Trossard? Is it going to be Jesus? You might think I'm crazy. I'm not. The idea that Eddie might start in this game for his hard work, it wouldn't surprise me when it comes to Arte. He brought him on against Porto out of nowhere. But I think we agree it's probably going to be Jesus starting on the left with Havertz up top and Saka on the right. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think the 11 will be? What's the 11 you want to see? Let us know whether you think Martinelli will make it in time or not. Hit the like button. Go check out all the amazing content that is coming out from Forever Arsenal, Invincible, all the previews, combined 11. We are keeping you covered with every single... Everything to do with this game, we've covered it. Check it out here on AFTV.
Just before we close off, just quickly, score prediction from you, Laurie, because I know you haven't been in any of the content. Just quickly.
Yeah, you know what? I'd love to be able to stand here and say I think we're going to win, but I'm thinking a draw.
Believe.
I'm thinking a draw. Desmond, 2-2.
All right.
2-1-1.
1-0 Arsenal. And if we win, we go on and win the league.
That's Cecil's big prediction. Let us know in the comment section below.
This video is partnered with Aura, digital protection for everything that matters. It's a VPN, antivirus, password management, and parental control all in one place. You can get them all together at one affordable price.
I've been using Aura because it shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits an opt-out request for me.
Data brokers sell your information to scammers, spammers, and anyone else who may want to target you. Cleaning up my information not only helps me to reduce the amount of spam I get, but also protects me from hackers who are trying to access my social media accounts, bank accounts, or other sensitive information.
Aura is always on, doing the hard work of keeping me safe so I can focus on other tasks with peace of mind.
You can go to aura.com/AFTV to start your free 2-week trial, or click the link in the video description below.